Hey guys, it's Miss Moore. I miss you guys all so much. I hope you're safe and healthy with your families. Um, Before I get into explaining your reading lesson for today, I just want to let you know that the program I'm using to record this video is called Zoom. So with Zoom, you can change the background just like I have. And I know some of you have YouTube channels. So after you're done with your lessons, if you guys want to post in the comments and you want me to do a tutorial on Zoom, I'm happy to do that. Because I know that you guys have a lot of free time on your hands lately, and I know you're on technology a lot. So I just wanted to say that. So for this week's lesson, for reading, it's just like all of your other classes. It's one lesson that you have to complete, and you have 7 days to complete it. Okay, so it's assigned today, Monday, March 23rd, and then it's not due until Monday, March 30th. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen with you. And all of your lessons, of course, are going to be on Google Classroom. Turn them in on Google Classroom. Okay, so let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Okay, guys, so basically, here is your reading assignment for this week. First step, watch the video. You're doing it now, so that's great. The first thing you're going to do right now is you're going to read the vocabulary words, okay? So I know that you've seen me do this before in class. It's good to go over some potential unknown vocabulary words that you might see in this article today, okay? So I'm not going to go through each and every vocab word with you guys right now because first of all, some of you might already know what they mean, and second of all, I want to let you guys do it at your own pace. There are only a few, okay? 1, 2, you got annoyed, engaged. Okay, I think I only put 5 on there, okay? The main one I want to go over right now, and by the way, there's the vocab word, the picture, and the definition to go along with it, okay? So the one that I would like to go over is Yarmulke, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Could be Yarmulke, okay? But you guys have probably seen this before. If you know about the Jewish faith, it is a skull cap worn by Jewish men, okay? In public by Orthodox Jewish men or during prayer by other Jewish men, okay? So that is an important cultural thing, item used by Jewish men. And so it's important for you to know if they reference Yarmulke, okay? Again, I don't, if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. It goes, it's a cap, okay? So with the rest of the vocabulary words, you got, okay, so like for example, this one, annoyed, and definition, slightly angry or irritated. Remember, synonym is another word that means the exact same thing, okay? Aggravated, okay? And know you guys have probably all heard these words, especially if you have siblings, right? Might get irritated with their siblings, especially being in confined spaces with them. Okay, so that's what I want you to do, is to first go through these 5 vocab words just to make sure you know. Okay, you got unusual, annoyed, engaged, okay, Yarmulke, which we just went over, and ceremony. Okay, so those are the 5 words you'll see. Okay, so after that is done, the next thing that I'm going to have you guys do is you have 2 ways that you can read this article, okay? The first way is the way that I really want you to do it and turn it in. So I'm going to go over that first. But there is a second way if you just cannot figure it out. But by the way, if you can't, put a comment or message me on Remind and be like, Miss Moore, can you please do a Zoom with me and show me how to do this? Because if you could take the time, I'd rather you turn it in late and maybe take the time to learn this program than to not do it, just because we're going to keep doing it for the next couple weeks. So we're going to do News ELA, which we've used in class. This year we haven't done it online. Before spring break, we did do Common Lit online, and that's where remember we read the poems and you highlighted and then you answered the questions. This is very similar to that. So you guys did great with that. So we're going to let me share my screen again. Okay, we're going to do Common Lit. So you guys are going to see this in your Google Classroom. Okay, it's News ELA. Okay, if it asks you to sign in using Google. Okay, sign in using Google with your student ID, your student email and your student ID. Okay, the way that's how you will have access to this, and you can turn it in and I will get it. You can get a grade. Okay. Yes, if you're wondering, we're still doing grades. So before I read the article, I would just want you to let you know, this time I want to read it to you because I know I haven't seen you in a long time. In the future, I want you to try to use Snap and Read on your own first. And by request, I will make a video, future lessons to read the article to you. Okay, if you prefer Miss Moore's voice over the robot voice. Okay. So remember, if you're logged into Google, okay, so let me go. If you go to Google, if you are logged in with your student email and ID, then you should have Snap and Read. Okay, so let me go back to the article. Remember the target, remember ReadWorks, Read and Write, you can do that too. But Snap and Read is newer, and I did a tutorial with your parents, and I also like it better. Okay, so remember, you just click that black target, you turn it on, press the speak button, and go. Okay. Okay, I also showed your parents how you can change the voice or the rate at how fast they go. I'll show you again real quick. You would go to Show Outlines at the bottom here. You'll go to the 3 dots where it says More Actions. You'll go to Options, and here you can change the voice. It sounded like it was reading it really fast. Okay, so I would slow it down. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna hide the outline. And to get rid of that black bar, you just click the target again. It's yellow right now since it's active, and then I will turn it off. Okay, so that's what I want you to try to do in the future. I can do another video to help you with that again. In fact, I probably will upload a video. For now, I'm gonna read it. Okay, so this article is called College Student Brings Llama in Tuxedo to His Sister's Wedding. Okay, so wanted to choose something kind of funny for you guys this time. And it's a very recent article. You know how I always tell you guys to look at where it came from. It was from the news publication USA Today, adapted by News ELA staff on March 16th, 2020. Okay, we got a picture. You can see that you can infer that it's most likely a husband and wife at their wedding, groom and bride, and then you see the llama here in the tuxedo. The caption says, Reva Weinstock left expresses her displeasure with her brother Mindel for bringing Shockey, a llama, to her wedding. Okay, and I accidentally pulled it up in the PDF file. Here it is. So whenever you'll log into News ELA with your email and you'll read the article, you'll have questions on the right where you answer it. It won't show me in my teacher view. And you'll press submit and turn in on the right. Okay, I will help you with that. We will learn it together. Okay, so let's start the article. What do you get when you bring a llama to a wedding? That isn't a joke. A bride in Ohio recently had to figure out the answer when her brother brought a llama to her wedding. Mindel Weinstock got the idea 5 years ago. It began with the promise he made. Then it turned into a big joke. Weinstock is 21 years old. He goes to the University of Akron in Ohio. He came up with an unusual idea for his sister Reva. They were on a trip from Ohio and Indiana in 2015. The only way he would go to her wedding was with a llama, he said. They did not know then when it might be. He said that he was annoyed by his sister's talk. She was talking about her wedding, as if it was going to happen the next day, he said. A promise 5 years in the making. Reva was 17 years old then. She did not have plans to get married anytime soon. After a while, she got annoyed too. Finally, she said that the llama is invited to the wedding, he said. In October, Reva got engaged. Weinstock got started on the plan she agreed to, maybe as a joke. On March 1st, Weinstock stuck to his promise. He brought a llama to the wedding. Ever since that day, I have promised her I would bring a llama, he said. I fulfilled that promise. How a tux-wearing llama walked into a wedding. Weinstock rented a llama, a good boy named Shocky. The cost for a day was $400. He got a friend to sew a tuxedo for the llama. The llama had a yarmulke to match. Okay, so remember that's that cap that the llama has on that normally Jewish men wear. I guess this is a boy llama. The yarmulke is a special cap Jewish men often wear. She was shocked at first, Weinstock said. Then he added that she was more impressed that I kept my promise from 5 years ago. They stayed in front of the building and took photos with guests. Shocky was not allowed inside, but stayed outside for the whole wedding. The llama stayed right up until the ceremony started, he said. Shocky gets attention. The photo of the Weinstock siblings with their animal friend was popular online. It got more than 150,000 votes on Reddit. Reddit is a place to share things online. Mendel Weinstock loves that people like the photo. It has blown up more than I ever could have possibly imagined, he said. He did not think that it would get so much attention, he said. I am loving it, he said. Okay, so I thought that was a very fun article. Before I get into the questions, you guys are familiar with Miss Moore reading things, and we're discovering things, so we have to Google them afterwards, right? So I have to look up the Yarmulke pronunciation, because I feel like I'm not saying it right. Oh, interesting. Okay, so remember, you can always look up how to pronounce something, guys. Google is amazing, as you know. Wow, okay. Miss Moore feels really silly. That's all that was, yarmulke. Okay, so I knew that word, I just did not know that was the spelling. So remember to never feel bad if you come across a word while we're reading and you don't know it, because even Miss Moore, with all of my college education, comes up across words all the time. I learned that there are 170,000 English words in use today. So that makes sense that we discover new words all the time. Okay, so we read the article. And now, if you're doing it on Newsela, which I hope that you get onto that, okay, remember, you are going to get notified in Google Classroom. You'll sign into Newsela with your NEISD email and password, just like you're logging onto the Chromebooks, right? And when you read it, you're going to have 4 questions on this right side to answer, okay? So I'm going to go to the PDF view, like how we do in class with the paper version, and read the questions and answer choices. I'm just going to read the question. If you pull it up on PDF, you can use that snap and read to read that to you. So again, you'll click the target, click on snap and read, click speak, okay? you'll click speak, and then it will read it to you. You can also do read and write. Keep calling it ReadWorks. Okay, so I'm going to read the questions, okay? And if you want me to read all the answer choices, that's just fine. Just put Miss Moore, please read answer choices. I will do so, okay? So the first one says to read the introduction. Okay, that's paragraphs 1 through 5. So you'll always go back into the passage. And by the way, I completely forgot to mention this at the beginning, is that I want you to annotate as you're reading, to take notes. Okay, so it is so important to annotate because it helps us remember important information while we're reading. Okay, so in the new ZLA option, you can highlight, just like in Common Lit. We did this in class in English, okay? You'll highlight the word or even the full sentence that you believe is important. So for example, Mendel Weinstock got the idea 5 years ago to bring a llama to the wedding, okay? If that sounds important, names, dates, places, those kinds of things, highlight, and then you can either take notes, okay, you can type, but I think most of you feel more comfortable with just highlighting. You can do both. Okay, so just like in Common Lit, okay, and then if you want to highlight it again, and I will consider this as part of the grade, okay? Or you can just click it and then click delete. Okay, so that's what I want you to do when you do the assignment on your own. Okay, so annotate because it's important to remember important information, right? So let's go back to the passage and back to the questions. So the first one says to read the introduction, paragraphs 1 through 5. Okay, so remember, scroll up, and that's going to be in these first 5 paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and it asks you, which selection from the section explains why Mendel Weinstock decided to bring a llama to his sister's wedding? Okay, so then you'll read through the answer choices and come up with the best answer. Number 2 says, read the paragraph from the section Shockey gets attention. Okay, so you would just go back and you're going to look at that very last one there. Shockey gets attention. Okay, the paragraph says, it has blown up more than I ever, oh, for this one they put it there for you so you don't have to scroll up, which is nice. It has blown up more than I ever could have possibly imagined, he said. He did not think that it would get so much attention, he said. I am loving it, he said. So which question is answered in this paragraph? Okay, so you'll read the 4 answer choices and choose the best one. Okay, just 2 more. Number 3, according to the section, A Promise 5 Years in the Making, why did Reva agree to have a llama at her wedding? Okay. So from A Promise 5 Years in the Making. Okay, so again, there it is. So it'll be, the answer will be just right in here, right in this paragraph for number 3. And number 4 says, which event happened first? Not in the whole article. Remember to read everything, even annotate. Remember I say even annotate in the questions, okay? Won't let me do it on the PDF, but you can highlight and click the highlight to make sure you know where it came from. So which event happened first in the section, how a tux-wearing llama walked into a wedding? Okay, so which one happened first in that section, not in the whole article? Don't let it confuse you. So how a tux, there you go. What happened first in this section here of the article? Okay, so it's just 4 questions. If you're doing it online, which is the preferred method, on this blank space right here, you're gonna have, it'll say write and it'll say quiz. This is reading right now. you're gonna have plenty of writing to do in my English lesson, so don't worry about the writing. That's optional if you want to, that's always great. But for this, I just want you to do, it'll say write, and then it'll say quiz. Just click quiz, answer the question, click next, answer the question. Once you've answered all 4 questions, you will go ahead and turn it in. Okay, so so you're gonna first look at the vocabulary, then sign on to Newsela with your student email and ID, read the article, answer 4 questions, okay? So right now I'm gonna show you the second way if you just cannot figure out Newsela, how you can read the article and type in the answers to the questions, okay? So I will do that with you right now. Okay. So the second way is I just put the PDF there as a backup. Okay, so you can click it, open it, and you can read it. You'll have the questions. The only thing with the PDF is that you cannot answer the question. You can't click or answer the questions on there. If you do it this way, you're going to have to do this. Read the article and answer the questions, and then I'm going to show you my student view for a lesson I'm a part of. You would add, you're familiar with this because you've done this in my English class. You would add, press add, and then create new docs. Okay. Once it's created, you're going to open it up. Okay, so remember, this is if you have the PDF version, like right here. Only if you have the PDF version. If you figured out Newsela, then that's amazing. That's the best way to go, okay? If you do it this way, this as the absolute backup, you will need to add the doc, okay? You're going to click 1 and then answer it with the letter choice, A, B, C, or D. So 1A, for example, 2A, 3A, okay? These aren't the answers. This is just an example. Okay, so this is how, or B, whichever it is. Okay, and then you have to make sure to press turn in. Okay, you can turn it in there. Or once you have finished the doc, okay, let's say you finished it, press turn in, and then turn in once again. Okay, you have to do it twice. Okay, once you have finished the entire lesson, you read the vocab, you did the article and 4 questions. I just want you to answer this question, which we've talked about. Why is annotating an article important? So do that last. It's the essential question to make sure that you understood the assignment, okay? So I hope, I'm sorry if this first video was a little bit long. I just wanted to make sure that you fully explained everything. I know it's our first time doing this, not our first time using Google Classroom or turning things in, but our first time doing it without me actually in the room with you. So again, I hope you guys are doing great. When you're done with this lesson and the English lesson, or even in between the lessons, you want to take a break and you want to know about Zoom or you want to talk about anything else, let me know and I will help you. Okay, so again, to contact me, you can put a comment in the class comments on Google Classroom, add me on Remind, request a Zoom. We can do a face-to-face Zoom conference. I'm happy with any of those options. Okay, so good luck and you'll do great on this and I'm here to help.